So, what if the very act of focusing on something was actually making you blind? It's a really weird paradox of our attention, and in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the darkness that our own light creates.
To get us started, let me ask you a little riddle. Imagine you're driving on a perfectly lit road at night. I mean, it's bright from end to end. Where is the single most dangerous spot? Now, it's not in the shadows on the side of the road. Nope. The most dangerous spot, believe it or not, is created by light itself.
The most dangerous place? It's that little patch of darkness right in front of you, the one created by the shadow of your own car. Your own source of light, your own focus, is the very thing that creates the blind spot. And this isn't just about driving, right? This is a metaphor for how we navigate our entire lives. Yeah, this whole phenomenon has a name: the darkness under the lamp. Just think about it for a second. The brighter the lamp, the darker the shadow it casts right underneath it. This isn't just some rule of physics. It's a fundamental truth about how our attention works. So let's get a really clear definition here. A blind spot, in this sense, isn't just some random thing we overlook. It is a specific area of ignorance that is created by the very light of our intense focus. In other words, our own attention is what builds the very walls we can't see past. And this creates this powerful duality in our lives, On one side, you've got the light. That's all our goals, our ambitions, the things we are actively chasing down. But that very light casts the shadow. And that's all the stuff we neglect, everything we take for granted, or just fail to see, which is often the very stuff that's closest to us. Okay, so this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a pattern that plays out all around us every single day. So let's look at a few examples of this blindness in action. I have a feeling you might even recognize some of them. First up, picture this. The high-ranking official, their whole career, their entire public identity is built around one thing: rooting out the corruption in other people. That is their intense, singular focus. And boom, here's the blind spot. Their crusade against everyone else's flaws shines such a bright light outwards that it casts this incredibly deep shadow on their own compromises. They become totally, completely blind to the rot happening inside themselves. Or, okay, let's take a more personal example. The devoted parents. You know them. They pour every single ounce of their energy and their money into making sure their kids have a brilliant future. The best schools, the best tutors, every opportunity they can imagine. Their focus is locked so firmly on a point decades in the future that they become completely blind to the present. They totally miss the joy of the moment, their own health and well-being, and the actual relationship they could be building right now, not for some distant payoff. And for our final example, picture the person who is obsessed with saving money. I mean, they will argue for an hour over a tiny charge on a bill. Their focus is just fixed on these microscopic little details. This hyper-focus on saving tiny little sums is what creates the massive blind spot. They're so busy watching the pennies that they completely miss the thousands of dollars slipping away through a bad investment or a huge missed opportunity. The scale of their vision is it's completely out of whack. All of these examples, this mismatched vision, this habit of looking far away while missing what's right in front of us, are captured perfectly in this one powerful story. It's a parable about the ultimate cost of our blind spots. The farmer's story is it's heartbreakingly simple. He was so convinced that real value had to be somewhere else, somewhere far away, that he gives up everything he has to go chase a dream. He comes back with nothing, only to find out the prize he was looking for was under his feet the entire time. His focus on that distant treasure made him blind to the one buried in his own backyard. It's so easy to see these blind spots in other people, in the official, the parents, the farmer. It's obvious to us. But the real challenge, and honestly where the real insight is turning that light around and looking at ourselves. So let's do that. Here it is, the fundamental truth of all this. Your greatest focus creates your greatest blind spot. Whatever you're pursuing most intensely in your life right now, your career, a relationship, a personal goal, that is precisely where your shadow is darkest. The sheer intensity of your ambition is what's making you miss what's right there beside it. And that leaves us with one final crucial question. What treasure is buried in the field that you're so focused on selling? What part of your life are you neglecting precisely because your light is shining so brightly somewhere else? Seriously, what's hiding in your shadow?